lack of being able to control how things will happen or what they happen, so you are afraid of what's to come because you don't know what it is. You can't control it. But that's okay, because whatever it is that controls how you see yourself and the way that you feel about yourself is going to determine how you operate with it anyway. So you can know what's coming all you want to. You can know that you have $10,000 check coming in 2 months. You're going to act completely different than if you didn't know that way. But if you feel, but if within yourself you feel like, I'm a 9-to-5 worker, really. I get up, I go to work, somebody pays me, and that's what I'm doing. But when the opportunity came, you got the money is there for your investment, and the confirmation is there for you to go forward with your dreams. If you still feeling within yourself that you're not worthy of being at a higher level, then you're going to be stuck in that rest, and it's time to put that to rest. That's why I said there is so much power in rest, and when changing the role of what it is, of how we see ourselves and who it is that we are. And the role is whoever you define yourself as. And so that way that you see yourself, give life and give more credit to that. Do things on a daily basis that speak to that. And here. And so, like I said, there were 3 of them. There was 3: self-care, self-love, and accountability. And at the same time, there are so many ways to put these into action, like reminding yourself that you're worthy and doing things like spending time with yourself, coming out of your comfort zone. I give myself permission to release the burdens of guilt and shame, or fear and sadness, whatever is you feel may be unloving. And I allow the flow of love and confidence into my life. And you attach that. That's how you hit it back. When something comes your way that may throw you off, you out of nowhere, you lost your job. You just got your car fixed, and then next thing you know, somebody hit your car. Or you have been trying to get this business started for so long, and you've been doing everything that you can, but it still hasn't gotten to your idea of where it is yet. No matter what, just hit it back with how you see yourself handling it. It doesn't matter what's going on, because what happens is if you give way to fear, if you give way to whatever it is that's coming your way, then you are saying to yourself, and you are giving permission with your actions, that whatever that is more powerful than who you are. I'll never let anything, I had to say to myself, I said, these seizures are just, this epilepsy is just that. It's just epilepsy, but I have, my voice is so much powerful. What I have to offer is way, way more powerful than what I went through. And yes, the seizures did take a lot out of me, but that made me see, if that was a seizure, if a seizure could do that to me, what could I do to a seizure back? What in the world can I do? What is it that I have within myself? You have to look at the things that happen to you as confirmation and tests of your own willingness and your own strength. If something that came your way was unexpected, and that's how I define fear. Fear is our lack of knowing what's. Continue to fight it. What's going to happen is, I don't like saying that I want to be the best version of myself. I don't want to be the best version of myself. I want to be the clearest version of myself that does my best. Because what happens is, when I'm clear about who I am and what I'm doing, I can recognize what's off and what's on. When you don't recognize what things are off and on, and you're doing your best, you're going to feel so discouraged when it doesn't work out, because it's like, well, I tried to be positive. I took your advice. I did it. I tried my best, and it still didn't come out that way. No, what happened was you experienced something that may have been unpleasant or a negative emotion or unpleasant experience, and you handled it in the best way that you could at that time. But that doesn't mean the way that you handled it at that time is your peak of how you can handle things, of who you are, the best that you can be. That's just what you had at that moment. We're humans. We're going to experience pain. We're going to experience anger. We're going to get confused. We're going to get scared. And when that happens, it's okay. You have to give way to that, but you have to give yourself permission to let it go. You have to give yourself permission for those things to leave. One thing I started doing was when I got upset with something, or when I truly didn't understand where I was going, or what it was that I wanted and who it was that I felt like I was, I just said a quick affirmation to myself, and then did a breathe, took a breath, and then carried on with the end goal. Because no matter what comes your way, if you have the willingness within yourself, just something within yourself that's willing to continue, that's all you need. That's all you need, and I promise you that you're still able to get forward. So one of the affirmations that I say to myself, what happened? Oh, Tyler has to cancel. Tyler's not feeling too well, so she wasn't able to finish that logo or finish that report, and that is where the emotional side of that rest gets to us, because now we feel guilty about the things that we couldn't do or that we wanted to do but weren't able to do, and then we judge ourselves for the things that, even though we're trying, we judge ourselves and condemn us because we're not gonna. I know everyone in here is not gonna allow somebody else, and we're saying this as if this was a live event, like if this was something that actually happened. Somebody sit next to you and tell you who you are or something about you that don't know you. You're either gonna correct them, you're gonna ignore them, laugh at them, or walk off or something like that. So, but what we do subconsciously is we beat them to it. I'm not going to give you the chance to tell me that I'm ugly, but I'm going to feel it about myself already. You don't have that chance to feel like I'm ugly. I feel like that about myself. I didn't have the chance. I didn't give anybody the chance to label me as the sick girl, to make me feel like this disabled girl who couldn't do anything. I felt that way about myself. You didn't have that opportunity. And so I thought, if I just put it out my mind, changed what I was thinking about, that it was gone. It wasn't there anymore. I had dealt with the situation. That is absolutely not true, because there are things that we have to do in order to actually train the brain and reprogram how you see yourself and the way that you operate. Because the way you can have all the talents in the world, you can have amazing ideas, but if you don't see yourself as worthy, you're going to do everything possible to make sure you don't get it to that place. I promise you, I was making sure that there was always some little bit of work to be done. Always something that needed to be done before I can actually go out and present myself, because I didn't want to step out my comfort zone. I was stuck in rest. I was rested in who I was and in the comfort of just being Tyler the sick girl. Tyler the sick girl can slide through quietly by herself, and nobody's aware of what she's really going through. Nobody gets to criticize her. Nobody gets to assume. I just handle that by myself, and I'm okay with that. No, I'm not. I'm not okay with that, because eventually the less you take care of your inner self, the more it's going to grow. The more it's going to grow. And then when challenges come your way, or when because life is going to happen regardless. We're going to get things that happen, things gonna, just like the seizure, going to hit us unexpected. It may bring us to a place where we don't know who we are. We can't really process what we're thinking, or don't know what it is that we're thinking. We're not present in that moment. We're away, like we're physically there, but we're not actually here emotionally. There's going to be plenty of things that happen in our lives, but I said something to myself. I said, life is going to hit you plenty of times, but you can either allow it to hit you, take over you, and live and control your life for you, or you can hit it back. And so what I started doing is thinking positive, saying positive things. Being positive is not going to stop life from happening. Things are going to happen unexpected. That is a given. But what happens is the way you see yourself handling it. I decided, even when the worst comes to mind, when I felt like, ooh, me on the stage, but then I saw myself having a seizure in the middle of the stage, or I saw myself, something happened before then that stopped me from getting there, or just when the worst just comes to mind, let it come to mind. But when it comes to mind, at the same time, you say to yourself, I see myself handling that. And then let it go. Let it come. Because if you continue